Oz Konar here with Business Lending Blueprint. Today, I want to talk about how to make a positive and everlasting change, how to experience transformation by following a 6-step process. I call this process RAAMM. It's a 6-step process that will help you understand what it takes to change something in your life. There are a lot of people, actually most people are looking for a change in their lives. It could be a change in relationship, change in job, change in finances, change in health, whatever it is. People struggle to change their current situation. Usually you're at point A right now, and where you want to get to is point B, whatever that is. That could be you making more money. That could be you're attracting a better relationship. That could be you're attracting a better family or more happiness, more fulfillment. I don't know what it is. You certainly do know what it is, right? But there is a gap between point A and point B, and that gap requires certain elements, certain action items for you to get there. But since most people do not understand this process, I want to break it down as methodically as possible through these 6 steps, because a month from now, at least in the next couple of weeks, we're probably going to talk about the New Year's resolution and how to make changes, how to lose weight, how to make more money, and all of that stuff, right? And most people, unfortunately, will not come through with all of that. And I get a lot of emails and phone calls and text messages from many people who want to change their income. They want to quit a job, start a business, but there are things that hold them from accomplishing that. That's why I wanted to give you this guide. I share a lot of this type of information with my private community in Business Lending Blueprint, but I wanted to give you this guide for you to take away and start using in your life right away. So if you're ready, let's get started. And before we do, if you enjoy my content, we have a lot of testimonials, a lot of content-related videos. Just click like below. Like button below, and also subscribe to our channel and click on the bell button so you're notified whenever I release a new video. So let's get started. There are 6 things that needs to be in place for an actual positive transformation or a big change. The first one is the obvious one, the reason. Why are you looking to change? Are you just talking about it? Are you just complaining about it? Or are you actually looking to change your current situation? Because there's a big distinction, right? You might internally think that you're doing okay, but you feel like it's a conversation piece to complain about it. Well, you're not really looking for a change if that's the case. You're just conversating, you're just complaining about the current situation. A reason is an actual reason that you want to make that change, and you want to make it as soon as possible. Actually, you must make it. So the first thing before you go through the whole process is to figure out, do you really have a reason? If you do, what is that reason? What are you trying to accomplish? What will change look like when you accomplish it? As I mentioned, you're at point A, and when you end up at point B, what does that look like? Do you have that picture as clear as daylight in your mind? Most people do not have that, right? They just wish that things would change. Wishful thinking will not bring things into existence. Decisions will do. So first, in order for you to decide on changing something, well, you got to have a reason. That's the first one. So I need you to write down, what is it that you're trying to change? And don't make broad statements such as, I need to make a lot of money. I want to make a lot of money. I want to lose weight. No, it has to be very specific. What is a lot of money? How much does it take for you to, let's say, quit your job and live a comfortable life without reporting to a boss? Let's say your income is $5,000 a month right now. Well, the first step is you need to be at $5,000 a month so you can get rid of that draining job, that your boss that you're not looking forward to meeting tomorrow or whatnot, whatever it is. Be specific. That's the first step, the reason. The second step is anchor. So now we have the reason, but we don't have a strong drive to accomplish that reason. That's why many people who have a reason to do something quit early on, or they lose their motivation. They don't follow through. They don't take enough action because that reason is not anchored deep enough. What is an anchor? It's a massive weight to hold a floating object in a certain spot, right? So when you're in water, you're floating, you can't really stay in one spot. So you need a deep anchor all the way at the bottom that holds you in that one spot. So this is exactly what we're looking to do. You need to tie that reason into an anchor. That anchor is usually emotional. It is one thing to want to change. It's another thing to understand and acknowledge and uncover why you need that change. Usually from like the members that I talk to and people who reach out to us, it is things like, hey, I can't spend enough time with my kids. I can't spend enough time with my wife, husband, and partner, or I don't have enough money to get to the end of the month. Listen, I want to have a better lifestyle. I want to buy a better car. I want to lose weight so I don't have a heart attack or I don't have health problems. So it is a strong, very strong reason. And most people do not want to really talk about this because we're not really, as a society, conditioned to share our vulnerabilities. But if you do not open up and share your vulnerability, it is very difficult for you to anchor that change that you're trying to accomplish. You're trying to get through this process. So I need you to be vulnerable with me and with yourself, right? So share what that is. What is it that you just need so badly changed? Some people say, I just hate my job. I cannot stand waking up, getting on a train or car, showing up to a job. Well, that's a good anchor. But we need to be crystal clear on what it is. Are you watching your kids grow while you're absent because you're working really, really hard? Or if you feel like you're getting older, but you're not there financially, you don't have any financial security for your later years or for your retirement, or you always wanted to be a successful business owner and it's not really happening right now? Or is it your self-image? Do you feel like you're not worthy enough or people are not appreciating you enough? I don't know. We all have these internal conversations back and forth, right? That damages our self-image. We got to fix it, but we got to face our vulnerabilities. We can't just brush it off and we can't just play the tough guy. So we got to open it up. So that's the second step, anchor. The third step, which is really important, but this will only work if you have the first two done. So you cannot really take a shortcut. First, you got to identify the reason. Then you have to anchor that reason. The third one is assess. Assessment is really important. And what that means is you need to honestly tell yourself how fast do you need this change and how hard you can work towards it. Like I get a lot of questions a lot of time. Hey, Oz, if I sign up to Blueprint, how many hours do I need to work on it? Can I work on it 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours? Well, that's really up to you. Because I don't know what you're trying to accomplish. If your goal is to accomplish X, let's say $5,000 a month, and you put it you wrote it down, the next step is the assessment. With what you have going on right now, because I have members, for example, with 6 kids, right? Let's say you have kids and you have family, and honestly, truthfully, you can only put in 2-3 hours a day. You need to know that. We can't have wishful thinking. We can't have like super optimistic overview of how much you can dedicate to this. We need to be totally honest with ourselves. Like, how much can you invest into making this change? It works same way with finding a mate for yourself, a partner, or it works same way losing weight or staying healthy and whatnot. Assess the situation and write down how soon you need to get there. Is it 60 days, 90 days, 6 months, or a year? And how much time can you dedicate to that? So that's number 3. I hope you guys are taking notes, because this is going to be important. When you're finished with this, you're going to end up with a recipe for a massive change. The fourth one is taking massive action. Now we know our reason. Now we anchored our reason, and now we assessed our situation and know how long we need, how much time are we going to give ourselves, right? As truthfully as possible, as transparent as possible, and how much time we're going to dedicate to making this change. And the fourth point right now is taking massive action. First, you got to find a vehicle that will help you accomplish that change. So if you're trying to lose weight, are you going to go sign up to a gym, or are you going to buy an online program, or are you going to buy a bunch of dumbbells and you use one of the exercising programs? If you're going to find a date, a wife or husband for yourself, how are you going to do that? Are you going to use a dating app, or are you going to go out there and meet people? And I don't know, but once you determine the first 3 steps, the next one is taking massive and consistent action. Because a lot of times people just say, take action, take massive action. You can do this. Just kind of pat in the back. You got this. Go get him, Tiger. Well, yeah, without understanding the first three letters up there, you're not going to be able to take action. At least you're not going to be able to take it consistently. You're going to only take it when you're motivated to take action. It is very difficult to accomplish something because if you just rely on raw motivation, willpower wears off. You can't run your life through willpower. For that reason, you definitely need deeper systems working for you. That's why massive action and consistent action only works if you have the other elements in place. Now you're taking massive action, you know how long it will take for you to get there, and you know what it will look like when you get there. The next one and last one is measuring and optimization. So as you're going through this process, like you're taking massive action, if you do not know, if you don't report back to yourself, you can kind of lose your way. That's why principles in life are so important. Principles eliminate the need for rules, because if you align yourself by principles, even if you deviate from them, if you have a measuring mechanism, you can measure and say, oh crap, I was getting away from that. I was cheating. I was doing a lot of cheat meals. So I wasn't doing this. I promised myself I would work on this for 2 hours. You deviate from that. But if you align yourself by a straight line principles, it just makes it a lot easier to come back. That's why you have to measure your progress. Let's say your goal was to make $5,000 in 2 months so you can replace your job. Well, at the end of every week, you have to check your progress. Are you getting closer to that number? How many appointments do you have? How many deals have you been selling or closing? Whatever business you're in, right? How many appointments are you making? Are you setting up the systems in place? Are you building the pipeline? Second week, do you have any deals in the pipeline that could close? Or third week, have you sold any customers? So depending on the industry you're in, obviously these variables might change, but you have to measure it. You can't just set it and forget it. Again, you can't cause massive changes on willpower. Look at bigger organizations. Do you think Amazon's Jeff Bezos wakes up in the morning and acts based on his motivation? No. Everything is planned. Everything is measurable. Everything is actionable. They're very goal-driven, right? Same thing with us. Whether you're trying to accomplish little things or trying to run a 7-8-figure company, right? So at our company, everything is recorded, meaning that we measure everything. So it's not anybody's opinion. It's just everything is factual. It's numbers, data oriented. I don't expect you to be that diligent when you're looking into it, changing something, but definitely you got to set something to measure it and optimize it. Optimizing means that you measure it, you find flaws, and then you make them better. It's the constant feedback loop, right? Because if you do not set up any kind of feedback loop, then you fall victim to the negative feedback loop, which is your mind feeding negative information about you failing to accomplish the change. Because that's another type of feedback, right? If you do not set up your own feedback, your mind will work against you and it'll tell you, look what you've done. You tried one more thing again, it didn't work. Oh, you promised to lose weight and it didn't work. You promised to do this, it didn't work. It's going to feed that loop back to you, and it's going to damage your self-image. It's going to ruin your pretty much reputation on your own, and also kill the motivation. So next time you want to try something, you're going to have a lot more hesitation because your mind is going to remind you all the past failures that you had. That's why the last step is really important, measuring and optimization. So if we were to sum it up, this is the RAAMM method that I came up with. And I talk a lot on how to make change, right? Because it's not a business is a vehicle. I just happen to be teaching a business model. This could be applied to everything else. And people come to me and people go online to find information how to make a change. But without a blueprint, without a structure, it is very difficult to change habits that you've developed for the past 30, 40, 50, 60, however old you are, right? We got to be honest with ourselves and look at this as transparently as possible and take this information and jot it down, and don't be afraid to share below in the comments so we can all collaborate. Vulnerabilities makes us stronger. So hopefully this was helpful. Let me know what your thoughts were. And again, if you want to hear more about the topics like this, subscribe, like this video, and I'll see you later. Take care now.